Alright, let's try this again. I had a talk with the band on the DMs, and I think we're all good now. I think we're ready. For those of you just tuning in, this is episode 11 of 20 Questions with Days N Daze. So let's see if we can connect this time. Woo! Here we go. We are connecting. Hi! You're here.
Hi. How's it going? I'm so sorry. I'm so technologically inept. I was like in a panic. I could not figure out how to do this. So Whitney helped me through it. But thank you.
I was stalling as best as I could. That was like the longest 5 minutes ever.
I'm so sorry. I apologize. Thank you for your patience. I
You're
appreciate
trying to do interviews now. It's weird.
It is. It's surreal. It's fun.
At least we have this though. So let's go ahead and jump into our questions. You actually just released a brand new album last week called Show Me the Blueprints. It's amazing. I love it.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad.
Yeah. So you've notoriously been a DIY band where you do everything yourselves, but this album was actually released on Fat Records. Can you talk about how that happened?
I think a Sturgeon from Leftover Crack showed Fat Mike one of our songs, and he was into it, so he just asked if we wanted to do a record with him. I mean, that was after doing a few tours with Leftover Crack, we backed Sturgeon for an acoustic run that he did. But yeah, it was just everything kind of fell into place, right place, right time kind of deal.
Totally. I mean, that's a big deal for you guys, though. I mean, was the transition for you guys making this album with such a prominent label difficult after kind of doing everything yourselves?
We really thought it was going to be, where it was so overwhelming because we flew out to California where we're going into this studio that NoFX has recorded all these incredible records in, but they were so patient with us, and the transition was really smooth. It was basically recording in our closet, but I didn't have to do all the mixing and hit the record button and stuff. It was a really good time.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know Fat usually takes a pretty heavy hand with their artists where they really want to be involved when new albums are dropping they're putting out. And for you guys, I was reading that all the previous albums you recorded them in your closet in Texas.
Yeah. No, they did not anything we wanted. That's another thing we're worried about, is that they were gonna, because there's a whole Fat record sound, yeah, that people talk about, and we're well, we kind of like what we have going on already. So, and they did not, try and fuck with what we already were working with. They made little suggestions. I think the only 2 things we changed was Mike suggested that we lengthen the intro to My Darling Dopamine and the bridge to Librium. That's the only differences that they made in the whole record.
Yeah, I've heard that it's with Fat, they want to be a part of making the records, but they also still want to give artists some kind of freedom because it is your sound, and they did bring you on as being an established band already.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they were great. But we did learn how, we thought this whole time that we had been doing vocal harmonies, and all we'd been doing was octave harmonies. So we did learn through John Carey of Old Man Markley, the genius that recorded us on this album, how to do actual harmonies. So now we know how to do that. So that's a good takeaway.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel obviously when you do things yourselves and you don't have any outside collaborators, you're kind of missing those experiences to grow and learn.
Yeah, Whit and I are the only 2 that write for Days N Daze, and we've been writing with each other for a decade, so I think it's easy and dangerous to get caught in those creative loops. You could be writing what was technically a good song, but if it's just the same thing that you've been doing forever and you're bouncing ideas off the same person back and forth, nothing's going to change. You're not really going to grow or progress as an artist.
Totally, because there's nobody there you outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what's your favorite song to play on the new album and why?
I really like Goodbye Lulu Part 2, just because it's like the chord progression feels good, because it's like G, C, and D shapes mainly, but like capoed on the second fret, and my action's crazy high on my guitar, so it feels nice on my fingers, and it makes me feel good. A lot of people are like, oh my god, is Days N Daze breaking up? Is this like your goodbye song? And I was like, no, talking about it now, it seems dark, but I just wanted a song that, like, if I die before, like, my parents or my wife, that they can have something to go back and listen to and be like, all right, it's all right, it's good. At least, have this.
For sure. I like how at the end of that song, there's, like, a secret track, and then it's kind of like your style, but a little bit more techno and dancey.
That was Sturgeon's doing. He came to us with... he wrote that song, and like all the music and everything, and he asked if we would do verses for it when we were on tour with them so we could play it live. And we did that for a tour, and it was a blast. And then when the record rolled around, he was like, maybe we should do that as like a lo-fi version, as like a secret track. And of course, like, yeah, duh, that's gonna be great.
Yeah, it was really cool. It's a good secret track because it's a little different and far removed for, like, to be like a track just on the track listing, but it's a nice little surprise at the end of the album.
Yeah, I feel like that last song's a little heavy, so it's nice to end the whole thing with like a palate cleanser,
Yeah.
Something
sure.
like a little goofy.
Yeah. So you guys have some really unique and like untraditional instruments in your band, like a washboard and a gut bucket. I didn't know what a gut bucket is, but for everyone out there that doesn't, it's like a basin with a stick and a string. So can you talk about what influenced you to choose those instruments when you started adding more members to the band?
So originally we wanted to have like a punk band.
Yeah.
But I mean, that shit adds up. Like amps, cables, a practice space, even like a vehicle to move all that equipment. It gets real pricey real quick, and we're like, well, maybe we could just like supplement, drums for like one washboard, and then instead of paying $100 for like a cheap bass, we'll just spend $20 at Home Depot. So it's kind of out of necessity, and then it just stuck because we like the sound.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too for when you guys tour. It must make it a lot easier, like, to transport your instruments, because I would imagine those are all kind of collapsible as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It was... I remember one time we were... it was on a Lift or a Crack tour, and they were at the venue at, like... The show started at, like, 8, maybe, and they were there at, like, 5, loading all this gear in. Everything just in one go. Like, I walked in with our entire setup, and they were like, fuck you. Like, that's ridiculous.
And too, for you, if something breaks on tour, you can just hit up a Home Depot.
Yeah, so it's so simple.
It sounds like a really an easier way to be a band.
Yeah, I cut some corners, definitely.
So, before the band actually started, and in the band's early days, for everyone out there that doesn't know, you and Whitney were actually a couple. How did you manage to continue as a band when that kind of ended romantically?
I think we started writing music to cope with each other because it was such a toxic relationship. And then we just loved the music so much and playing the music so much that was like our therapy. And I mean, obviously we still love each other as people, and we always have, so we didn't want to split entirely. And there were some like really rough years where like, bad. But I think a lot of really good songs came out of that. A lot of really cathartic songs for us, at least. We always just I think we put our band over ourselves. That was like the bottom line. And time heals all wounds. So now that's great. But yeah, it was rough. It wasn't an easy thing to do.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, it's kind of like, God, you work so well together, so I would imagine that transition of just trying to be in each other's presence while you're kind of coping with shifting from romantic partners to just trying to be friends.
Yeah, a lot of drunken yelling after shows and dumb shit like that. But I'm so glad that we landed where we're at now.
For sure. So what's the best piece of advice you'd give to bands out there to kind of create harmony in a band? Because obviously there's a lot of bands that can't even keep it together, that were never romantically involved, and you've managed to surpass that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it might sound cliche, but communication is key. I think if someone in the band has an issue, you have to speak up. We have like our little Facebook group where, that's just the four of us, and anytime anyone has a problem, we air it out and we all talk about it, and we find it's like a family. I mean, you get mad at each other, you get over it. You get mad at each other, you get over it. It's just I love these kids. They're my best friends, and we wouldn't ditch each other for anything.
That's
so yeah,
awesome.
Just talk about it, find a solution. Don't stuff things down because that rots into toxicity.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with ego too. I mean, you guys seem like you're all really down to earth, and like at the bottom line of communication is usually if people can't come to some kind of resolution, it's because there's ego involved.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. I think none of us ever thought that we'd actually be playing music as like a full-time thing. So we're just happy to be here. So I think that probably helps. I think a lot, maybe, I can't speak for any other bands, obviously, but it seems to me like a few bands that we've played with here and there, maybe they seem like they just expect to be there, to be playing music for people and for people to be listening. But you have to remember as a performer that the people listening are the people giving you the chance to do this amazing thing. And we try not to lose sight of that.
For sure. And, the music industry is fickle. It's like one day you can be hot and the next day you're not. So it's like it's important to stay humble and to be grateful to your fans, because without that draw and without your fans, like you said, you wouldn't be there.
Yeah, but essentially we're all just homeless people, really. Like the people that listen to our music are the only thing that makes us anything. I mean, we all just live out of a van all year. We're just kind of like hippies with guitars and washboards.
Oh my God, you're so funny. So your shows actually do get pretty rowdy. I've seen a bunch of them on YouTube. I'm not sure if I ever actually had the pleasure to see you guys in person, but from all the videos I've seen on YouTube, they get really rowdy. So in the 12 years you've been a band, what are some of the craziest things that have ever happened at your shows?
So, going from like bad crazy to good crazy, we played it in New Jersey one time. We were playing in a basement, and it was like a 15 by 15 foot basement. It was really small, and it was like packed. And we were like pressed up against the wall. We were playing, and someone ran in and threw like a military grade smoke bomb in the room. So like, it was just chaos out of nowhere. It's horrifying. All I can remember is Megan grabbing my hand. I felt like it was in like a war movie. Megan like grabbed my hand. She was like, "We gotta go, like leave the guitar, go." We're all like, it's just like people laying down. It was crazy. We finished the set outside, but so that was terrible. And
yeah, that sounds really dangerous.
Yeah, it was not safe or fun. Another time that I talked to Whitney about the other day, actually, was we played Resist to Exist festival. I'm pretty sure it was in Germany. It was like a ton of people. It was an outside festival, so we're on like a big festival stage, like the ones that they just set up, and we play this song called Self-Destruction Anthem sometimes at the end of our shows, and it's like a sing-along song.
Yeah.
So we'll invite like a few people up on the stage to do like a little improv verse or something. And so I don't know if it was like a language barrier thing or if everyone just didn't care, but we asked like a few people to come up, and like everyone came up on the stage. It was like had to have been at least 50 people like on this stage. We felt so bad because the stagehands were so bummed because I mean obviously they said all the the cables are taped down, everything's like set up nice for like the band after us, and then it's just like a show on the stage. We're like by the end of the set we were crowd surfing on the stage in front of like a festival crowd. It was ridiculous. That was my favorite moment and also my most remorseful because I feel so bad for the people that had to like rework all the cables and everything.
Yeah. Shit, that's crazy. Oh my god. Well, so that's the end of the actual questions I have for you. I wanted to ask, will you play us a couple songs?
Yeah, definitely. I'll take my headphones off. I hope I'm bad at framing.
You're good. As long as you're not like sideways, I think you're fine.
That seems good. All right. First one's kind of old, but relevant right now. We're all stuck inside, stuck where we're at. My wife is about to throw a tuner at me, and I know I'm gonna miss it because I'm nervous.
She'll like hit you in the head.
Yeah, for sure. All right. No, see, that's on 3. I wish. There we go. We're leaving tomorrow, you'll say. I really can't blame you, cause I hate to stay in the same place too long. Swear it drives me insane. Smell of the air, the roads and the people. They feel too familiar, no longer exciting to me. That's annoying, I just have to get away. Thanks so much. All right. You said 2, yeah?
Yeah, can we?
Yeah, of course. So, my wife Veronica is gonna join you for this next one because I cannot, for the life of me.
Keep the kazoo there. What if I fail?
Keep the kazoo. You want to like dip in and say hi to Erin? Hi, Veronica.
I'm going to play this thing, but over here.
So you'll hear the end of them. That's Veronica, just slightly off camera. See if I can screw this up. This has been so fun. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you being here. This is awesome. brightening my Saturday, and I hope everyone watching is brightening your Saturday too.
Awesome. Good.
So I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna bring on Whitney now.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I really appreciate it. That was a blast. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah, thank you for being